Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Big Jim's smothered pork chops. So you're going to need some Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, and apple jelly. I know that sounds weird. And 6 pork chops. Also a clove of garlic or a teaspoon of minced garlic.
So sorry the video got corrupted, but this is a half a cup of apple jelly, half a cup of ketchup, and a half a cup of soy sauce. We use the low sodium soy sauce from Aldi's. And
you're just going to put them all in a mixing bowl and whisk them together. And this plunger measuring cup is from Pampered Chef, but I watch Good Eats and Alton Brown. It's his favorite to do sort of goopy stuff. So 1 teaspoon of this crushed garlic, minced garlic in a jar is equal to 1 clove, so I've added that. Or you can mince a clove of garlic yourself. And then you're just going to take a whisk. And you're going to whisk it until you break up the big chunks of jelly. There'll still be a little bit of junk, a little bit of chunks here and there. But you're just going to incorporate all of these. This is another so simple recipe. Not super healthy because of the sugar in the jelly. But yeah, nevertheless. So then we're going to take the pork chops. Now this is a 11 by 7 pan, I believe Mom said. And if you can fit them all in there, that would be good. But try not to make them overly big because you want to keep them covered with the sauce. If you only have a big pan, then go ahead and double the recipe of sauce. But what I usually just make 3 of these, but I've made 6 because the recipe calls for 6, and I wanted to show you guys how the full recipe is. But I did manage to get these boneless loin chops in this pan. There was 2 narrow ones and 4 regular ones, and I made them fit. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if you want to trim your chops, you can. That's totally an option. But we're going to cook the sauce down, and the little fat does add a little bit of flavor. So I'm just going to give this a last quick stir, and then I'm just going to pour all of the sauce directly over the chops. The name Smothered Pork Chops is Smothered Pork Chops for a reason. You want to go ahead and you want to smother them with sauce. And is there alternatives that are lighter? Probably. You probably could use a lower sugared jelly. If you home make jelly, of course, you can use a lower sugared ketchup, I'm sure. But they bake in the sauce and then they're coated in the sauce. But you don't have to have extra sauce when you're eating it. They can just stay coated and then it won't be so bad. All right? And there's no other seasonings or anything else you have to do to this. I just make sure I always get every last bit out of the bowl. Because, nobody does my dishes but me. And I don't work on the Food Network. Actually, it's because the sauce is really good. And if I ever left any in the pan to go down the sink, my family would kill me. And that's it. I'm just going to spread it around and make sure they're all completely coated. And oh, I forgot to tell you to preheat the oven for 350 degrees. Sorry about that. And that's it. Now they go in a 350 degree oven. In the middle rack. There you go. And you want to put it in the middle of your oven is really what it is. Not necessarily the middle rack, but the middle of your oven. And we're going to bake them for 25 minutes. Now, there's a couple of factors will determine how long you need to make your chops for. The thickness of the chops, whether or not they have bones in them, how big your pan is spread out, and how many you make. Okay? So here's what they look like after 25 minutes. I'm taking a pair of tongs and I'm feeling them and I'm lifting them up to look for doneness. And these still feel a little soft. Now, as meat starts to cook, it becomes firmer. That trick on your hand for medium well and how to figure out steaks? Well, that's the same thing with pork. So we're just going to add 10 more minutes. So the range is anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. I'm sorry, 20 to 40 minutes. We're making them from 25 to 35 minutes. And after 35 minutes, they're completely perfect. So this is the most difficult part of the entire recipe. I mean it. Other than getting the stuff from the refrigerator and mixing it, this is the most important part, or most difficult part of the recipe. So you're going to pour off all the juices and the remaining sauce into a saucepan. I don't have the saucepan on the heat yet because these pork chops will stay super hot in this pan, so I'm not worried about it. I'm moving the pork chops to a plate. I'm just shaking all of the excess jelly and sauce off. They're still, as you can see, they're still coated pretty good. So if you just wanted to eat them now, you could. That would not be a problem. But what we're going to do is we're going to shake off all the excess sauce and jelly. And we're going to boil it down and thicken it up and put it back on the chops. So when we talk about easy recipes, you could be done. You could be done right here and just take this pan straight to the table. But of course, this is just to enhance it and thicken it. It's just going to be wonderful, beautiful. Oh my goodness, you're going to love it. I can't believe it. So now I'm going to take a rubber spatula because you know me, I have to get every last drop. Scraping all the good sides. Ah, light. And I'm not going crazy. I joke because this is actually all going back in this pan, so I'm not going crazy. But I'm just getting all of that goodness and thickness and deliciousness and fat and grease and everything just all go together. Okay? And I'm going to put that on high and let it come to a boil. Okay, and while that's getting warmer, we're going to put the chops back in the pan. Just waiting for the sauce to be thick. So once the sauce starts to boil, we're going to make a slurry with cornstarch. I know I didn't tell you in the beginning that you needed cornstarch, but you need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to 1 tablespoon of cold water. Pop always told me use cold water to make your slurry, so you can get a nice thin slurry to thicken up without making lumps in your sauce. And I don't know why I'm trying to fit these back perfectly. Just stick them in there, Jerry. Just stick them in there. And I'm going to put this remaining juices in that pan too. So, all right. On that pot, I have egg noodles boiling for Mom. Jim and I are going to have this served over brown rice. Mom is going to have it served over egg noodles. Traditionally, Big Jim used to make it with egg noodles, which is why she likes it that way. But Jim and I are trying to be as health conscious as possible, so we're going to have brown rice. Yeah. So I put the burner on high, and now I'm going to go ahead and mix my slurry. All right. So I get a little tiny bowl. This is my preferred method. A little tiny bowl, and I take a tablespoon of cornstarch, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. And then I just mix it with roughly a tablespoon of cold water, but you just want to have enough water to cornstarch so it's thin. And yep, I mix it with my finger. Papa always says the best way to do it because you can feel the cornstarch dissolve, and you can feel if it needs to be remixed right before you blend it. So basically, if I make the slurry ahead of time, it will thicken back up again. The water will separate out of the cornstarch. And just mix as you pour it in. That's the important thing. And you'll see, this is in real time, it thickens up in moments. Do you see how thick that got already? Usually it has to come back to a boil or be boiling. But with such little cornstarch and water mixture, that's it. It is thickened up. And I'm just going to pour it all over the beautiful chops. And with some 90-second brown rice that we got at Aldi for $1.29. And some $99 worth of green beans. This has become a very economical meal as well. Easy and inexpensive. So that's it. I hope you really liked this tutorial. It just makes us think of Big Jim every time we have it. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share with friends and family. Anybody you know interested in making this wonderful, delicious dish. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. Ring that bell, and YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, from Jim, Big Jim, Mom, and I, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.